Good evening. Tonight, we journey to Indonesia, where a different kind of horror story is unfolding across once pristine rainforests. This isn't fiction, it's a disturbing reality playing out year after year. Across Sumatra and Kalimantan, ancient forests are disappearing at an alarming rate. In their place, row after row of palm oil plantations stretching to the horizon. The transition from forest to plantation is orchestrated through fire, creating devastating environmental destruction. The images are haunting: endangered orangutans clinging to few trees, villages shrouded in toxic haze, and biodiversity reduced to ash. But here's what's truly disturbing. Amid this devastation, some stand to benefit enormously. You might be unwittingly supporting them. Palm oil is virtually inescapable. It's in your cookies, shampoo, detergent, chocolate, and cosmetics. Indonesia produces nearly 60% of the world's supply, and demand keeps growing. Indonesia's largest palm oil producers have consistently expanded their plantation footprint following forest fire events. The market is dominated by major firms operating in regions most affected by land conversion. Isn't it fascinating how forests mysteriously burn down and then, completely coincidentally, palm oil plantations spring up? It's like when your kid denies eating cookies but has chocolate on their face, except with more environmental devastation. Environmental watchdogs highlight a troubling pattern. Land cleared by fire is rapidly converted into productive plantations, increasing crop yields. It's a cycle that's proven difficult to break. What happens in Indonesia's forests doesn't stay in Indonesia. These rainforests are critical carbon sinks. A hectare of mature tropical rainforest stores up to 300 tons of carbon, while a palm oil plantation stores just 40 tons. During the 2015 fire season, Indonesia's fires released more carbon dioxide than Germany's entire annual emissions. On peak days, these fires produced more CO2 than the entire U.S. economy. Climate scientists warn that losing these carbon sinks creates a dangerous feedback loop, accelerating warming. Indonesia's fires aren't just a local tragedy, they're a global climate emergency. So we're literally setting fire to one of Earth's biggest air conditioners, then wondering why the planet is getting hotter. It's like drilling holes in your lifeboat, then being surprised you're getting wet. Let's examine what the data tells us. The numbers paint a stark picture of correlation. Plantation expansion typically follows fires within 6 to 18 months, with export volumes rising by as much as 30%. The economic value of converted land increases dramatically, from $500 to $1,000 per hectare as forest to $10,000 to $15,000 as a palm plantation. A 2024 satellite analysis showed 78% of areas burned between 2019 and 2022 were converted to palm plantations by 2025. The remaining 22% largely allocated to pulp and paper operations. It's basically the most efficient business model. Find rainforest, it burns, plant palm trees, profit, then express concern at conferences. The ecological cost is staggering. A single hectare of Indonesian rainforest can host over 150 unique tree species. After conversion to palm plantation, that drops to just one. The ripple effects are catastrophic. Critical habitat for 10 to 15% of all known species disappears. Endangered Sumatran tigers, elephants, and rhinos face increasing pressure. Over 100,000 orangutans have died due to habitat loss. These forests are living libraries of ethnobotanical knowledge, with indigenous communities identifying thousands of medicinal plants and food sources. We're burning down the world's most valuable pharmacy, zoo, and carbon capture technology all at once. But hey, at least we've got cheap cookies and shampoo, right? The Indonesian government has pledged to crack down on illegal burning, introducing stricter penalties in 2020. They've established a moratorium on new palm oil permits, yet international observers note persistent gaps in enforcement. Complex ownership structures, subcontracted labor, and remote locations make attribution difficult. So essentially, the regulations have more loopholes than a crochet convention. It's like putting a "Please don't rob" sign on a bank. A Reuters investigation found companies can legally acquire land after it has been cleared by fire, even without provable connection to the burning. This creates what environmental lawyers call a perverse incentive within the industry. Some experts propose a radical solution. Legally mandate that any forest land cleared by fire must be reforested with native species and permanently barred from conversion. The logic is compelling. By eliminating the economic reward for burning, you remove the primary incentive. A burned forest that must be restored rather than converted suddenly becomes a liability, not an opportunity. Pilot programs in Brazil show promising results, with fire incidents dropping by 70% in restricted areas. The key is rigorous enforcement and satellite monitoring to ensure compliance. It's rather simple, isn't it? If you make sure crime doesn't pay, people stop committing crimes. Revolutionary concept. To be fair, major palm oil producers have committed to sustainable practices, signing zero deforestation pledges and investing in fire prevention. Industry representatives state that responsibly produced palm oil is the most efficient vegetable oil crop, requiring less land than alternatives. Yes, their sustainability reports are very impressive. Strangely, they never include photos of burning forests or displaced wildlife. Must have run out of space. The immediate victims of these fires are the communities living in the shadow of this industry. Toxic haze from forest fires has forced school closures. In 2019, over 900,000 people reported respiratory illnesses. Local and indigenous communities find themselves squeezed between corporate interests and government policies, losing traditional lands with little recourse. Ironically, indigenous communities have managed these forests sustainably for centuries, using controlled burning techniques that prevent massive wildfires. Their displacement creates a humanitarian crisis and removes the very stewards who could protect these ecosystems. This isn't just Indonesia's problem. Palm oil from this land flows into global supply chains, appearing in products from recognizable brands. Despite corporate pledges for deforestation-free sourcing, traceability remains challenging. So next time you're enjoying your chocolate biscuit, remember, there might be a homeless orangutan wondering why you couldn't have just had an apple instead. Consumer pressure has led to improvements, with companies committing to better sourcing and certification systems verifying sustainability claims. But experts agree that market incentives continue to drive expansion and demand keeps growing. Here's tonight's bottom line. As forests burn in Indonesia, the economic system that rewards conversion remains largely intact. Major industry players are positioned to benefit from newly available land, regardless of how that land becomes available. The horror isn't shadowy villains, but a system where economic incentives align with environmental destruction, ignoring the true value of ancient forests. These fires aren't just Indonesia's problem, they're humanity's problem. Every hectare burned accelerates climate change, pushing us closer to irreversible tipping points. It's quite simple, really. We've created a world where setting fire to irreplaceable rainforest is more profitable than preserving it. And then we wonder why everything's on fire. It's like dumping petrol everywhere and being shocked when someone lights a match. For Green Blueprint Sustainability News, following the money when the smoke clears.